Welcome back to another episode. We are going to be building another rig today, obviously. So we're doing a Springfield XDM 3.8 with a Safari Land mid-drop, a thumb release, rubber thumb release, and the BALDR S on the beautiful black carbon fiber. Now, this particular holster is going wrong-handed, so it's going to be left-handed, and it's a little bit more difficult to do left-handed holsters, which is why I guess not a lot of people do them. But the fact is that all the controls are generally on the left side of the gun, and not a lot of manufacturers do ambidextrous anymore. So we're going to be taking all that into consideration because we have to mount the level 2 thumb strap. Now, I have a particular way I do this thumb strap, so we're going to go ahead and knock that out and make a beautiful rig. So let's get to it. First things first is we have to mount the light and we have to do the sight channel. So let's find a good one. That's too long. Yeah, just right. So we'll go ahead, tape that on there because all of my holsters come suppressor ready now. And then go ahead and mount that. And we have that mounted. Let's get this on here and figure out a good spot to do it. There we go. Middle slot looks good. And that's where we're going to do that. So we're going to go ahead and do our 5 layers. And then we're going to block everything that we need to. So what I've learned to do over the years is I do the sight channel. Then I'll do part of the slide, as in the 5 layers of tape. Then we'll do the flashlight. And then you do the controls. And then you do everything on the outside. So you got to build it up in layers to get your final product. Now, when you're making the holster, you always got to, think, how is this going to look in the end, because that's how you're going to want to build it. So when it's like prepping a car for paint, the better you do, the better the final holster is going to look. All right, and there it is. Now this is just flat stock. I'll go ahead and get these mounted up. And they're both exactly the same, so it doesn't matter which side they go on. I made them the same. So but for some odd reason, I always like to start on this side. Now what I have noticed as well is putting a couple layers of tape on the light works wonders for making the holster. Also, if it's not your light, you're going to want to put tape on it anyway to protect the finish, especially since you're putting metal on it. Now, I personally own this light along with 400 others, so I don't care if these lights get damaged because I only use these lights for the blocking purpose. So, let's see here. Right there. To this side. Alright, now you want to leave a little bit of a gap right there. If you don't have a gap, then what's going to happen is it's not going to work for you. So you got to have that gap. So, and to do that, you're going to need to block something so it's the same. Here we go. So, because this button, the lever, makes it rise up a little bit. So by doing this, it stops your blocking from rotating. There we go. And like I said, you want enough so that it just dips right down in there. And make sure it goes below the body of the light slightly. Because if it's not, This holster is not going to work for you. Or at least you're going to have to do it again. And you'll learn that. For a little added security, I like to line these up and tape them together. Alright, so that is the basics. There is no blocking on this side. As you can see here in the blue gun, there is nothing on this side. Everything's on this side. And as you can see, we got a block for that on top of having this sitting up here, because that's where this goes. And then this is going to be on the other side, and I have specific ways that I personally do it. So, alright, so this is going to be, this is the easy side, but let's block this side out. So we know where this is. That's going to be it right there. Because we still have to have some stuff on top of that. Alright, now, let's see, this is mid-drop and this. So, to kind of help us out in this process, I'm actually going to wrap the top right here so we know, it's just easier to see where the top of the slide is. Or the back of the slide, rather. So, I'm going to go ahead, let's install this. Do it this way, and I just did that because sometimes these numbers are shown, so if I do it this way, they're going to be on the inside, so they're not shown. So we're going to have the button on this side. And how an easy way to install the button, put the screw in, screw it into the rubber, put on your magic blue juice, and there you are. And extra hardware. So there's that. Now we need blocking for these two. So we're doing a mid-drop. We could just do all this right here. And this actually works out because it's easier because the retention is on the other side. So this, what I do is line this up where you want it. So we're going to be right there, so when you grab it you can hit it with your thumb. Alright, so we're going to want that in that area. Alright, so now we want blocking to right there. And you can do whatever you want. You could do this or you want on it, so probably do something like that. Or like that right there. But if you notice, it's going to need blocking on the other side. It needs to be level. So what I'm going to do right there is I'm actually going to cut a whole bunch of pieces of tape. And we're going to get that blocking just right. 8, 9, 10. Oh yeah, there it is right there. hold that. Beauteous. Now we need to put this right here. So what you have to do is you have to make sure that you have enough room to do all this. So that's perfect right down here. So now we have to block all that. Should be fine right there. Square that up with the slide. Alright, so this side's pretty much done. And what we're going to do is we'll take this side right here. We know it's going to go around here. And that's right here. So we can also cut and drill this. So we know this is going to be around this area. So we can go ahead and attach this to here with blocking underneath that, probably at an angle. Let's see here. It's only at an angle because of that. So we're going to attach this right about there, which means blocking under it. That actually looks pretty good as that sits. Just coming down. That's going to go right there. Okay. This is the fun part, trying to figure out where. Good. Make sure that doesn't go anywhere. All right, now we're going to need this. So we're going to throw that right there. It's probably going to be a good idea to use an extra piece of foam. And there she be. So, let's rock it. All right, so we got to do a retention plate. No big deal. We'll get that on there. Get it cut and get it in the press. While that mold is in the press, we have 3 layers of foam on one side, which is the bottom because it was thicker, and then 2 layers on top of that. And the reason why I do that is because if you don't do that and you're thicker on one side, your sight channel is going to be off and it's not going to be in the center. And I try to do that in all of them. Sometimes you just can't avoid it. But I also noticed that there's something right here, and you guys are probably wondering why it's there. Well, I got contacted by a police department, and they're looking for outside the waistband holsters for a 37mm or 40mm, which these are the exact same dimensionally on the outside, so it's going to work. So I'm making outside the waistband holsters for this particular police department for a 40 cal, or 40mm rather, and this should be fun. So I'm not going to film the process because it's going to be a lot of R&D, but I have some ideas in mind, and this is something I'm looking forward to. This is my personal one, and we have a lot of fun with this at Pig Roast. So, and this is also how I light my fire with it, or I have a flamethrower as well, but we have some fun. You know, all the kids, they launch out some grenades out in the yard and whatnot. But anyways, so yeah, stay tuned. I'm going to show you the final product of that, and this is going to be fun. So an outside the waistband for a 40mm launcher. So, but on that note, what I'm going to do is I am going to pull another order that's going to be somewhat quick while this is cooling in there. So if it's like a inside the waistband or something like that, I'm going to go ahead and do that. So we got just a little bit longer before I got to feed the dogs and go in for lunch. But again, I can keep things moving and just knock some stuff out. So poking through the next orders, I have one right here for a Glock 19 Poly 80, Battleship Gray carbon fiber dual rubber loops. So I'm just going to knock that out while this is going and just, like I said, keep things moving because I want to get caught up so bad, not only for me, but for you guys. So, and the only way to do that is just keep on trucking. Well, only been a few minutes, and here is a Glock 19 Poly 80, so the P80 builds, dual rubber loops, open bottom, and that going out the door. So we're just about ready to check on that and pull it out. So, got it out, I cut it, drilled it, I did everything I needed to do, and I was ready to assemble. And, well, I realized a couple things. Honestly, didn't like the way it came out, so I actually re-prepped it. I got my ovens heating back up, because I actually had to go get the kiddo from school. And I'm going to tell you why I don't like it. So, with the blocking being so far up, it was almost level with the top of the slide, and that causes a huge tenting right here. No big deal until you cut it and see how it's curved like that. So to put it in perspective, I don't like that curve right there, and there's only one way to get out of that. Blocking has to go lower. So I blocked it out, I blocked it lower, and as you can see right here, top of the slide is here, so that's a good, it's a good half-inch or so, or not even, but anyways, I don't do that. But I blocked it out, so we got the top of the slide here, and we got the blocking here, so that's going to be a lot better. And that'll give us that curve around it, because even with it, and because that tenting was there, this happened. So the only drawback with having this not here, it's going to be down just a little bit. No big deal, but it's going to be covering the beaver tail, which, no big deal. I usually like to put them over the slide, but it's going to hold the same exact thing there. So again, scrapping this one, even though it came out good, but I didn't like the way this cut, and there's no way around it, so I'm going to, like I said, redo it. So hopefully it goes better. So we'll see. Well, here we are the next day, and everything went well. I got this new holster to the point where the old one was, so we are cut and formed, and as you can see, it's uniform right there. So that's all we wanted. So it doesn't have that giant arch like the other one, and this one is ready to go. It's cleaned, and you know, I hate throwing away carbon fiber, but it is what it is. I messed it up. So we got this one right here, and let's go ahead and get it going. So we're just going to add everything, and what we do, I already put the slot on this side, and let's just go to town. Only a few things. All right, now went ahead and marked where we wanted this guy. So I want it so the button is right at the edge of the slide. So that puts that right about there. All right, so let's see. I could actually do this. Now, let me clean this real quick. All right, let's take this and get our gusset. So I have an idea of a somewhat different way to do this. So now all I'm going to do is I'm going to leave it like that and bolt this right through it. Next, I'm going to set the retention. That way we can get everything situated where we need it to be. Oh yeah, that's good right there. Now at this point, got the retention good. Perfect. So now let's set this in here. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is slide this over. Let's see, I'd like another hole right here. So I'm going to mark. See here. Yeah, I'm going to mark this one right here. Okay, and then I'm going to mark that right there. And what I'm going to do is cut that. And then mark that and drill it. We're going to slide that in. Take the screw. And just screw it because that'll hold it.
Then throw some Loctite on the threads. And then just hold it while you rotate it. There's one. And two. Alright, there's that. Now, let's get the mid-drop on. You don't want to put it too close to where it's not going to undo itself, but that's why we keep it tight. So if we are in like that, then you can just move it over, snack it in. So now, when you're wearing it, a little bit of pencil mark, clean that off real quick. All right, and obviously I do this because this is the cleanest way that I figured out to do it. So, a little bit of juice on there. So, there we go. Normally I put it on the bottom, but this was too good. This, just the spacing worked perfectly, and I heated up a little bit just to get it back because this was bent in. But anyways, so you could take it. Perfect. There's plenty of room. And then you could also, as you're there, pull it to snap, put it in, rotate that down so it sits like that, and then pinch it against the gun, and then you're in. So, and there you go. There's a level 2 with strap for the XDM 3.8 with the BALDR S. And again, mid-drop, so we could just bink and pull that out.
I gotta tell you, the first attempt at this sucked. This one came out much better. Pay attention, you know, like I should have done it lower to begin with, but this in the end came out absolutely beautiful, and I'm stoked it's going out. It is heading to Lebanon, Maine, neighboring state, and yeah, it's heading out. So like I said, level 2 with the thumb brake. And if you ever see anybody doing this, I believe I'm the one that started it, and I started posting how I do it, and then hey, other companies are doing it. So but that's why I do these videos. Find find your little signature, and if you picked up a tip or trick on how to do this stuff, by all means, rock it in your business. And this is heading out. I appreciate all you guys for watching. Have a good Memorial Day. I'm going to be in the shop all day doing holster stuff, and I appreciate all you. Huge shout out to Holstersmith and Knife Kits. They're actually doing a memorial sale, so if you knew about that, jump in on it, because by the time this is done or this is uploaded, it's probably over with. But they had one, 10% off. So, but anyways, subscribe to the newsletter. They will post about it and email you about any of their upcoming sales. And they generally do it with every holiday, which is really cool because I like to stock up on a few things that are kind of pricey. But anyways, on that note, I'm going to move on to the next one. I got a lot of stuff to do. I got a store order, which all that Kydex right there is for store order. It's 107 holsters, which I think there's like 110 right there. But anyways, I'm just going to keep on trucking, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Appreciate all you, and bye.